Hi, everybody. This is Mike Katz. This is our podcast from RJ Groner Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. This time, Do It Right podcast. We named it last time. We came up with that because that's been our tagline forever. So, John Toohey, our operations manager, is here with me today.
Morning, Mike. How you doing?
Pretty good, John.
All right, we're doing pretty good so far.
Today, because Halloween is coming up, we thought, let's talk about things that are really scary. Okay? Scary. There are things scary in your home. Sure there are. Some of those things have to do with heating, cooling, and plumbing. Mainly heating this time of year. John happens to have informed me that this month is Fire Prevention Month. Mm-hmm. And John has been a volunteer fireman for many, many years.
Yeah, many, many years. Probably close to 35 years.
So my question to you is, what have you seen that has anything to do with the heating system in somebody's home or business that is really scary from a fireman's standpoint?
Well, I'm going to tell you, one of the things that I see a lot, and we've seen a lot, especially when it comes, and it kind of ties into our business, fuel-related, fuel-burning appliances, whether it be oil, gas, propane, what it may be, we see a lot in this area. Carbon monoxide calls. Wow. Carbon monoxide detectors going off, customers feeling sick, homeowners feeling sick when we respond actually with the fire department. And then finding that a fuel burning appliance was the root cause of that problem. Now, it could be anything from a system that's not been maintained for years to some type of part or component malfunction that has caused that problem. I will say the Poconos is notorious for having rough installations of equipment in the past and over the years, and different contractors, and we've seen everything from poorly installed units that have almost caused problems to brand new systems that were just not set up correctly from day one.
Something that makes carbon monoxide scary, really scary, is the fact that they call it the silent killer. And the reason they call it the silent killer, you can't smell it, there's no smoke, you can't see it. You just fall asleep, and that's it.
And you may never wake up again.
Exactly.
That's the downside.
Now, how do we take care of that? How is that a subject we even want to bring up, being in the heating business? And I'll tell you why. The reason is you can avoid ever having that problem. We can help you with it, and that's through something you should be doing, whether it's us or another company that's in our business. You've got to maintain your system.
Well, I do want to point out one thing, though. We can improve your odds. Nothing is ever 0% chance in this world anymore.
That's the fireman talking.
Yeah, but we can definitely improve your odds. And there's quite a few ways that we can actually help.
There is, and my take on this is, you got to maintain your system. You've got to take care of it. If you let it go, if you think, well, I really don't have to do it this year, it'll be fine for another year, you'll never know. Like we said, it's the silent killer. It's really scary.
One of the things, too, I want to point out, and this is a great medium to use it in, is that whether I've responded as on the fire side or we responded as RJ Groner Company, one of the things that we've encountered out there in the field is sometimes people are reluctant to believe that they actually have a problem with their system. Very hard to convince sometimes to show people that, hey, this is a problem, whether it be, I'll use an example of a recent call that we're at where the chimney had collapsed inside itself.
I remember this.
And we were there with the fire department, and they actually ended up getting called as RJ Groner Company. They weren't an existing customer. They were a new customer to us. And we went through video camera inspection, showing them every step of the way. And for whatever reason, they just did not want to accept the fact that this chimney had collapsed in on itself and that they couldn't run their appliance any longer. And it's crazy because you just don't know what to do. We have certain guidelines that we follow. We'll shut that unit off. We'll put a red tag on it. But that customer can go and call his brother or his uncle or his cousin Larry, and they'll turn that system back on. So
I don't like the Larrys out there that do that.
Yeah. And it's wild.
I got to be careful because I think on our last podcast, we talked a lot about pickup truck.
Yeah.
And I don't want to start another.
Yeah, we're not going to start that war again.
I don't want to alienate Larry's now. Mm-hmm. So, but let's not name names.
When you call in an expert, okay, as much as you, and maybe some cases it comes down to just simply being embarrassed that you weren't aware that you had the problem, whatever it may be. But remember, you hired an expert, and that expert's job is to make sure that you are informed and to make sure that they can do everything in their power to leave that system safe, whether it be turned off or to fix the problem, which is the preferred method, is fix the problem so we get it taken care of. But it is pretty wild out there when you run into those situations, mostly because people weren't in a good mental place when it came to having an emergency. Nobody's expecting an emergency, Mike. Nobody knows they're going to have the fire department at their house, and until it's too late.
That comes up is a financial problem. Okay, chimney collapsed. But, I really don't have the money right now to replace this system, to do something different. And we do things different. We've had other issues with chimney issues, and it's so expensive to rebuild a complete chimney, whether it's a business or a house. And we have alternatives to that. The industry now has what we call sidewall venting, where you can vent right out the side of a building or a house without using a chimney. And it's very efficient, and it's very economical. But also on the financial end, if you don't have the money right now, we have all kinds of financing in place. And
there's
you'll
always
find
a
most
way.
companies in our business do. We even have brought up something in our wheelhouse now called leasing, where you actually can lease your boiler, lease your heat pump, your HVAC system.
We have definitely tried
crazy,
to find
but
ways.
You can do it. And we've done it with people who do not have those funds. They just can't come up with the money right now. And everything we do, whether it's leasing or it's financing, there's never a penalty with our systems to pay it off early.
Mm-hmm. So we have means. I mean, we've gone as far as even going to the county weatherization program to get people help.
Absolutely, I forgot about that. You're right.
We try not to leave a customer, but on the same token, we do have people out there that are just that stubborn, that are going to fight us, and they fight the fire department, they fight the inspector, they fight the service company, and to this day, again, whatever that reason may be, I have a hard time with that situation. So how do you get out of that, right? How do you get out of that? You have preventive maintenance done. You have somebody come out to your house before you get to that level.
When you let things go to the point where you're risking your family with a fire or carbon monoxide, even just smoke and fumes in the house. We've been to several places over the years where you go into a home and you immediately, because you're in the industry, you see soot.
Yeah, all over. Yeah.
And people are like, gee, I have to clean this countertop every day. I can't understand what's wrong with my system. And you just run your fingers across it and it's soot. Your system is so inefficient, it cannot burn all the fuel
cleanly.
And it's causing soot all over your house. And we've seen houses that, insurance companies have had to come in and just scrape the whole house down and clean it all up. It's terrible.
We've seen houses in our industry that have looked like they've actually had a fire in them.
Right.
From a malfunctioning appliance. But not a lick of flame, just a malfunctioning appliance that was just choking up soot, coughing it all over the house. And it's always a scary situation. We make that a priority at RJ Groner Company. Anybody calls in, carbon monoxide detector going off, smoke in their home, fumes, anything, a smell of gas, we stop what we're doing and we run. Now, we do tell people, call 911. Okay? Call 911. Don't wait. You have a carbon monoxide detector going off in your house. You have fumes, smell, gas odor. Don't wait for a service company. Call 911. Get help out immediately. We can't get through traffic the same way a fire company can get through traffic. So, and it makes a big difference.
It does.
So that's one of, that's a scary topic.
It is.
So I'll give you another scary topic. Now, maybe it's not related to fuel burning stuff. How about this scary topic? You can't flush any of your toilets in your house. Huh? That's a scary topic.
Talk about scary.
You want to talk about scary.
You know what's worse? When you can't flush the toilets in your house and you can't take a shower because your drains are clogged up.
Yep.
And you have teenagers.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Are you in trouble? Talk about scary.
Yeah. You know what's even scarier than you can't flush the toilet? When you flush the toilets and everything that was in comes out. Yeah, that's scary.
Talk about scary.
And not another shameless plug, but it is our podcast, so we can do that.
That's true.
We have our plumbing service team that can take care of those blocked lines, those clogs.
If something's slow, I always had a problem with people who did this. So a drain is slow. Okay, let it go. Drain's slow. And it gets a little slower. Pretty much you're brushing your teeth and the water is almost overflowing the sink. Then you call RJ Groner, or any plumber. The point is...
No, any plumber. You call RJ Groner Company.
Okay, call RJ Groner. The bottom line is, if you start to have a problem, do you really think it's just going to disappear like magic?
I think
Take
that's human
care
nature.
of it while it's a small problem. Before that overflows, and now you're not just dealing with us, a plumber, you're dealing with a flooring guy, a carpet guy.
Your homeowner's insurance.
Your homeowner's insurance. It leaked down through the floor and took the ceiling down below. We've seen it so many times. Talk about scary.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. When I see a drip in my house, it's like, call RJ Groner.
Yep.
Of course,
How about
I have a little pull, but I can get them there.
Do you though? Do you though? I don't know about that.
Actually, I don't.
Let's be honest, Mike. What
To
happens
be
when
honest,
you have
I'm
a
the last
problem?
guy
You
that
are
gets
the
the
last
plumber
guy
to
that
the
gets the
house.
plumber. Don't.
It
Yeah.
is.
Your pull as the owner of this company is very, very small. So
Thanks, John.
Yep, you're welcome, Mike.
For reminding me of something that's scary for me.
I just wanted to let our customers know that they are a priority
They
over everybody.
They are, including me.
Yeah.
And you. I'm going to make sure.
I don't get nobody
You're
in
on
my
that
house.
list.
So, what else? What else is a scary topic in our industry?
I tell you, the most scary thing about Halloween, about this time of year, is that for me personally, scares me that you don't call RJ Groner. You call somebody else.
Yeah,
that's really scary.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fear that we have
because we have such great people working here, and we want to keep them busy. We want to keep them employed. We want to keep them taking care of all these emergencies, all these problems in the Pocono Northeast. If it's heating, cooling, plumbing, we don't care what it is. Even if you're having some kind of electrical problem or you're having another problem in your house, give us a call. We personally, our company may not be able to help you, but we'll find somebody that'll take care of your problem for you.
We have great friends,
We
other
do,
business
in
owners
the
in this
industry.
industry that we can recommend.
We've developed it so much over the
great
years.
network. So that's something that, certainly can do for our customers and for anybody out there, basically, who wants to give us a call. So I'm trying to think of some other scary things for Halloween. It might pop up once in a while in our industry. So besides carbon monoxide, besides soot, God forbid, fire, here's another scary one. How about an oil tank rupture?
Oh, yeah.
That's a scary one.
It is.
Yeah, and we've seen that more than we care to admit when an oil tank has ruptured in a basement.
You know what that is? Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
People never check their oil tanks. We've seen it over and over again. If it's an outdoor oil tank and it leaks, I mean, you're talking about bringing in environmental specialists to clean up the dirt. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you can't even take the dirt to a regular landfill. You've got to take it to specialized landfills that can take environmental waste. It's crazy. People never think about these things. When we come out and we do our inspections, we always check out the oil tank.
As long as we can get to it.
And then if it's in the basement, I'm going to tell you, the smell from oil in your house will last for years.
Yeah, never goes
it's
away.
the hardest thing to clean up. So, that being said, please maintain your systems.
Yeah.
Call somebody. I know it's scary for me if you don't call RJ Groner. Scary for John and all our employees if you call somebody else. But call somebody. Make sure you maintain your system. Make sure you have everything checked.
Yep.
And don't be afraid to say to whoever comes out to your home, hey, did you check this? Did you check that? Because I watched a podcast and they said, I want to be checked for carbon monoxide. I want to be checked on my oil tank. I want all these things taken care of. Don't be afraid to ask. That's their job. That's what they should be doing.
Yeah, because the only way you're going to be alerted as a homeowner is if somebody brings it to your attention.
Exactly.
So that's one of the many scary things that we have. So out there going on in the field. I'll give you one last one. And this one is probably one of the more damaging ones. Broken water pipe.
Oh, yeah.
When you're not home, broken water pipe. The amount of damage, especially if that broken water pipe is a hot water pipe. Then you have humidity and steam and moisture and mold, and it becomes just an absolute nightmare to get that house back into shape. One of the things that we see out there and that we install very effectively, whole house water shutoff valves that are controlled by apps. They use remote sensors out there to shut the water off if they detect high humidity or they detect moisture on the ground. That is becoming a bigger and bigger thing in our industry. And we're starting to see insurance companies require it for people in their homes.
And I personally know this, and I think it's one of the things that you're thinking of when you mention this.
Yes.
My parents used to go away in the winter. They would go to Florida, and they would leave the house, not do anything about it. Just turn the key and go, thinking all systems were going to work fine. Well, they had radiant floor system in their house. If people don't know what that is, the heating is actually in the floor. And they went away. And I got a phone call one day after they were gone about 2 weeks that people saw what looked like frost on all the windows in the house. So I went up to take a look, and I opened the door, and there was about 10 inches of water on the floor. They had a sunken living room, and it was amazing. It looked like a pool. It was crazy. And to this day, I have never seen that many different colors of mold in my life.
It was wild.
It was crazy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the reason was the heating system was fine. And the heating system kept going and going. So all this water on the floor was being heated up and creating mold throughout the house. The house living areas, living room, dining room, everything, kitchen, had to be stripped down to the studs to get rid of the mold. Mm-hmm. It was a crazy, crazy experience. And it was probably my first time I ever had to deal with an insurance company, and I'm doing it for my parents. And you just don't want to go there.
Yeah.
You don't want to have that. That is a scary, scary problem.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, had my father done what he should have done and have these valves installed, or even something, if you're going to go away for an extended period of time, there are ways to winterize your house.
Yes.
Very economically, so that these things can't happen.
Yep.
And
Somebody
all
can get there.
Was an old piece of copper pipe up in the ceiling. Fitting came apart.
That's it.
After all these years, it just came apart. You would never know that. But if you had that valve in place, would shut it right off. No problem.
Well, I'm definitely going to say that we certainly shared quite a few of the scary things that can happen in this industry. And you know what? Out of sight, out of mind. Most people don't think about it until it's too late. And that's what we are here for. So
I have one question for you.
Go ahead.
Are you coming to my house to trick or treat and scare me?
I don't know. It depends. Are you going to be there in just your bathrobe and slippers?
I don't want to scare you.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So I think that pretty much wraps us up for our podcast for October. I think we covered quite a bit of ground here today.
I think we did.
Yeah.
And, just so everybody knows, the idea behind this podcast, I think I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, is to be educational,
Absolutely.
to be informative.
And
Yes,
shameless
helps.
plugs out.
Shameless plugs.
Shameless
We'd
plugs,
love
yeah.
you to come and be part of the RJ Groner family. But that being said, go somewhere, anywhere, take care of these problems before it's too late.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody out there again. Thank you for listening to us, and hope you have a great rest of your Halloween. Hope it's scary for you out there.
Enjoy the rest of October and have a beautiful fall.
And we'll see you on the This Time Do It Right podcast next time.